So sophistication comes primarily from being more specific. So I'll give you one example, and then you can let me know if you have any follow-up questions. But let's say I wanted to say, okay, and there's an example of this, as I said, but let's say we're saying Shakespeare explores power. That doesn't sound sophisticated, does it? Because I haven't actually offered an insight. And the way that you offer an insight is to tell me something about that concept. It's not even a concept yet, as I said, but about that term. So if you're using the word power, tell me something about it. Oh, Shakespeare explores the corruptibility of power. That's an idea. Okay, so power corrupts people. That actually is an insight. You're telling me something that would mean something to me. If you just said Shakespeare explores power, I don't know. What about power? So if I'm left with any kind of question like that, you're probably lacking that specificity, which means you're lacking sophistication. Okay, so a good technique, if you want to note this down, and for everyone else listening, just write this down. You want to ask yourself this question. It's going to help you a lot. Whenever you feel like you're being a little bit vague, ask yourself what the marker's going to ask themselves, which is what type, how, why, so what? Okay, so write those questions down. They're questions to ask yourself about the term that you're using that you think is an idea, but probably isn't fully developed. So you need to expand on it. And the way you expand on it is by asking yourself a question to which you then need to provide an answer. Okay. And then the art becomes, going back to step one, how can I then be specific without rambling on for sentences on end? How can I then move to the next point? So that you've got to get that sweet spot where you're being specific and expanding, but at the same time, you're being concise. Okay. That's kind of the sweet spot there of really effective writing.